Each week, Lena Girl and Davey D get to talk story with construction experts for best practices and important things to consider when going through a rebuild or renovation.
And we welcome back to our holiday Lucas Stensland. How are you, brother?
I'm good. How are you guys? Good
Welcome
to see you.
back.
Hi, Lucas.
Of course, Lucas is our general contractor and owner of H1 Construction. Now, Lucas, while this segment is called Ask the Contractor, we just wanted to step back a little bit from our typical audience questions to talk about something that affects every project even before the project starts.
Right.
It's often overlooked, but it plays a huge role in how smoothly a build unfolds and how realistic things like timelines and proposals end up being.
Now, you've said it before, that if you could condense everything that you talk about into one idea, it would be the importance of building the right team early on. Can you walk us through that?
Absolutely. You know, we can sit down and talk about construction for hours and hours, but the bottom line is the client doesn't necessarily have to understand the full fundamentals of construction, right? If they've assembled their team early, you know, then you discuss wide open, what is my budget and how realistic is it? And that's where the interview process comes in, where you want to go out and interview 3 different teams. What is your process? Does it follow along with what my anticipations are? Does it meet my expectations, right? Versus the other way, where somebody would hire an architect, and once they were done with that architect, go get it bid 3 different ways. So it's lots of avenues to get to the same place.
Sure.
How do you want to get there, right?
And you already have basically the team assembled for us.
Correct.
So you are one stop. But you know, even with a good team in place, a proposal is based on the level of information available. Why is that, especially at such an early stage of the game?
So what people also have to be aware of is the difference between an estimate and a proposal. When you're getting early on estimates, they're just estimates, right? And everybody does estimates differently, so there's no silver bullet that says this is the way you're supposed to do it. An estimate is just that. You could say, hey, Luke, I want to build a house for in my neighborhood for 2,500 square feet, and I could say, well, it's probably going to run you 800,000. That's an estimate, right? Versus me coming out and measuring and showing you exactly what you're going to get for your dollar. That would be broken down into a proposal. I would never sign anything based off an estimate. And estimates are dangerous because that's unfair to you and the client. If someone's just coming to your house and saying, well, I can build it for this. Build what?
What?
Yeah,
what exactly are you
Using
building?
what?
But it also, you need a base, right? Understand what it is, right? What it's for, what's the intention of it.
So when it comes down to it then, when it comes to determining cost, it really isn't fair to ask about square footage, or because I know a lot of people, when they're talking about building, they tend to ask, oh, what is the cost per square foot? That really isn't a fair valuation of what they're actually going to end up paying out. Is that correct?
This is the biggest question that I get, right? It's all open up for interpretation. So if I tell you I build for $500 a square foot and you interview somebody else and they say they build for $150, you have to understand what those are including and what they're not including, because everybody has a different way of cost per square foot.
Okay, so what question should we ask instead of asking what's your cost per square foot? What is the question that we should be asking?
I don't think there's a question that anybody should be asking. They should be assembling their team as early as possible. You know, if you go on a first date or you sit down with somebody for the first time, you're gauging whether you like this person, if they have the same values as you do. It all comes down to that open communication and being in that trust, right? So the question is to themselves, what is their budget? What do I want to spend on my project? And then they go out and interview people from there, right? Their whole team.
That's
We're
excellent.
conducting the interviews.
I know. That feels good, right?
And you should be. You're spending the most amount of money that you ever will in your entire life, most people, right? You can't put the contractor in the driver's seat. And when you just are focused so heavy on budget, you're putting them in the driver's seat to make these unilateral decisions for you.
That you're going to live with for 30 years.
You're going to live with forever, not me,
Yes.
right?
Got you.
So I need to educate and inform people so they understand better what the process can look like. And it's communication at the very begining and hiring the right team.
Excellent.
Great
Good
info.
stuff, I tell you.
So far, wow. By the way, if you want to ask your questions, we just asked our questions, you know, for our own benefit.
For our own houses, yes.
But we want to ask you to submit your questions in advance so that we can get you the answers you need in next week's segment of Ask the Contractor. Send those questions in at h1constructionhawaii.com/ask. Thanks, Lucas.
You got it.
Good man, bro. All right, mahalo again to Lucas from H1 Construction.
I love the confidence with which he speaks, right?
Yeah.
I love that. And you know, if you've got questions, please send them now so we can get you those answers in next week's segment of Ask the Contractor.